welcome back to our podcast, Buckle Up Wildcats, the High School Musical, the series Rewatch podcast. I am Audrey Ashcraft, and I'm your co-host.
I'm Haley Clark, and I'm also your co-host.
Slay! Today we're doing the final episode of Season 1.
Yay!
Yay! This is the final episode of Season 1, obviously. Episode 10, and it's entitled Act 2. I have the synopsis, so I'll just read it and get us started. Okay. You hair in my mouth. We've arrived to Act 2 of opening night with major cast changes. Between Ricky's parents, the talent agent, and Gina's uncertain future, the pressure has never been greater. They're able to reach the end of the show with everyone in the right role, thank goodness, and things get wrapped up with Ricky confessing his love for Nene. We are still left with lingering questions, though, like, will Nene come back to East High? Will Gina be allowed to stay? And most importantly, what will be the spring show? Ooh.
Yay!
Yeah. This episode was actually pretty calm.
Yeah.
All things considered.
Yeah. I know.
I was like, surprisingly, they stayed pretty chill.
Yeah. They're like, we gotta, I don't know, wrap things up.
Okay, what did you rank the episode?
I rated it a 9 out of 10.
Oh, that's me too.
Yeah.
I said, this is a good finale.
I thought so. Yeah.
I was like, oh, so much character growth.
Yeah.
I love that.
I feel like they just, like, everyone kind of gets their moment and they wrap it all up. But you still have, like, questions, so you want to continue the show.
Yeah.
So I think it's good.
It was really good. I enjoyed it. I also gave it a 9 out of 10. I don't know if I said that.
Yeah.
I feel like it was implied.
I think you said that.
There wasn't a full song in this episode. No, we heard Seb sing Bop to the Top in the background.
Yeah.
I really feel like that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah. I feel like there should have been some sort of original.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
I didn't say this, I have this later in my notes, but every other season ends with them, it's like a bonus scene, ends with them around the piano singing. Mm-hmm. And I love that.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it in this season.
Mm-mm. I couldn't remember if they did something or not, but nope.
I thought they did, but maybe I just think that because they have all those, like, they did so much promo for this, and they have all those videos of them singing.
Yeah, that's
in that
true.
regard.
Yeah.
But I really thought they did.
Yeah.
But they didn't, though.
Sad.
So sad. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, what was your favorite and least favorite part of the episode?
My favorite is so basic, but I love Ricky and Nene, and that part at the end is my favorite.
It's so good! No, I wrote the same thing. It's so good!
It's so good, and Joshua Bassett is a great actor.
So good.
Maybe it wasn't completely acting, but that's okay.
He was amazing, and I don't think his acting gets enough flowers.
Mm-mm.
It's so good.
Yeah. I agree. My least favorite was Seb, but I feel bad for saying that because it's not his fault. It's the costuming and the writers that were just, I feel like they had a moment to, like, make a meaningful scene, and they tried to, and I think it was just, like, not good. I don't know. He was just, like, I don't feel like he really overcame anything.
No. He didn't have, like,
And they didn't, like, make it throughout the show seem like he really had an issue.
Yeah.
And if they would have done that more, it probably would have been a little more impactful. But we didn't even get to see him sing the song. So it was just, like, I don't know.
His whole character arc just really confused me, why they don't put more time and energy into him.
And it seems like, I don't know. I feel like the characters in the show feel like he's an important part, but...
Yeah. But I feel like we don't, and I'm like, why do we not care about him? You know what I mean?
What's up?
And by we, I mean...
Yeah, I love Seb, but...
Literally, like, actually one of my favorites. Season 2, peak.
Yeah, I agree.
So my least favorite was Ricky's mom, which is an unoriginal answer, honestly.
That's what I almost put, but I was like, I need to switch it up today.
I had, like, another kind of thought, but I couldn't remember what it was. But I just, honestly, I liked this episode pretty.
Yeah, I know. Nothing was so bad.
Yeah, I was like, I actually really enjoy this.
Yeah.
Do you have any Utah moments?
The only kind of thing I have is that Ricky talks about them going to Six Flags.
That's what I have written down.
And, like, I don't know the context for that. But there's very few people in Utah that I know that have been to Six Flags.
No.
They either go to Lagoon, which is, like, our own theme park in Utah that's, like, 30 minutes away from Salt Lake
Yeah,
City?
like, not even. It's, like, 2 exits over.
Yeah, like 15 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
With no traffic. But
yeah, it's very... I would 15 minutes easy.
Yeah. They could have gone on a trip, but I feel like even if they did that, they would go to, like, Disneyland or something.
Yeah, because I looked... So, that was my Utah moment, too.
Yeah.
Because I was like, there isn't really a whole lot in here. But, the closest Six Flags is in California.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Just go to Disneyland
Yeah.
at that point.
I guess if you want, like, the roller coasters, but...
It didn't sound like she did.
No. It seems like they both didn't really enjoy the roller coasters, so...
It would have been such a good moment there if they would have said Lagoon.
Yeah. And it wouldn't have
mattered.
nothing away.
Yeah.
They could have been on Colossus or Wicked, I don't know.
Literally. If he would have just said, like, just a quick line about Lagoon, everyone knows Lagoon in Utah. That's the amusement park you go to.
And I feel like even people outside of Utah know
Yeah.
Lagoon is a thing.
And even if you didn't, like, it's just, like, an amusement, like, they make up names for things all the
Yeah.
time. Like, okay,
Yeah. I don't know.
I did go into this, because I got 7 Peaks and Six Flags confused in my head, and I was like, I thought I'd heard, so I was trying to remember if there was one here at one point. No, there was a 7 Peaks. But, yes, that is the correct one. But I was looking at, like, pages and stuff, and apparently there has been rumors that either Six Flags bought Lagoon or is going to put a location in Utah to compete with Lagoon, which I actually doesn't make sense at all to me, because I was looking at locations of Six Flags, and they don't tend to be on the West Coast.
No, there's more on the East Coast, I feel like.
So I'm like, why would they?
Yeah.
Why would they put one in Utah?
I don't know.
The rumors were never true, though. I read, like, a 2006 KSL article.
Oh, wow.
They're like, no, Larry H. Miller is not building 6 Peaks.
That's funny.
That's such a Utah sentence.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny.
I also learned that apparently Utah doesn't have, like, the space to build a competitive. Like, that's, like, the main problem, which makes sense.
That's what I was trying to think is, like, where else has a big enough, like...
Yeah.
Community and space for an amusement park.
I feel like you could see one, like, potentially, like, Springville area. And it'd be, like, Provo's.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I still think there's a lot of land there.
Mm-mm.
And that's when things start to get less populated.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's not a Six Flags in Utah.
Nope.
And there never was, never has been.
Yeah. So that means they, like, went on a trip together to at least California.
Yeah.
But was it for school?
I don't know.
Because he said in 7th grade or whatever.
Yeah.
But they didn't say... I thought maybe he said, like, on a field trip, and then I was like, that's a really weird field trip.
Yeah.
To go all the way to Six Flags. But he didn't, so... But we know that their families are friends, so they could have gone together. I don't know.
It could have been, yeah. That's really cute to think that it was a trip, actually. Anyways, so that's our Utah moments.
Yeah.
You ready to dive into the episode?
Yes.
So slay. Okay, so Miss Jen does our recap.
Yeah, I forgot.
That's tea.
Yeah.
So did we have every character recap? I think so.
I think, yeah.
I don't think they would have had Miss Jen if they didn't have. Seb probably didn't do one because he's not a main character.
Yeah.
Natalie probably didn't do one because she's not a main character.
Mm-mm.
EJ did one. Carlos did one. Yeah, I think they all did it.
I think so.
Courtney did, yeah. So Miss Jen, that's a good way to wrap it up. I think that's cute.
Yeah.
I wrote Nini's really bad in that scene. These notes are horrible, guys. I really hope we're able to get through.
Yeah.
I think that's in reference to the one where EJ comes out.
Is it, or is it the one with Gina? Oh.
Honestly, it might be both, but I do think this is in reference to...
Yeah, she's really not... That is true. She's not good at working under pressure at all. Not very good improv, girl.
Mm-mm. And we make fun of Gina for that. So.
Yeah. So, maybe that's a trait that I carried over.
So literally.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, I get that you didn't know why EJ was there, and that's startling. However, I feel like that's a figure out later kind of problem.
And you know he's the understudy, so it's not like...
Yeah, that's such a good point.
Biggest deal, like... I don't know. Like, obviously she should be worried about Ricky, but, like, later.
Yeah, that's like an off-stage question.
Especially because this lady's here watching you.
Oh, literally.
And what gets me every time she, like, looks at her, I'm like, don't make direct eye contact.
Should not get into the school. All I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know. My first notes are about when Mr. Mazzara is, like, telling Big Red what all this stuff does, which I feel like this is Act 2, and he should have known what he was doing at this point, or told him. And then he just leaves.
No, literally. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, what does he have to do?
What is on your schedule today? Because you're here at the end of the show?
Yeah.
Burning down another auditorium? What are you doing?
Yeah, he just has to let everyone crash and burn. I don't know. But...
Also, Big Red is a victim.
Yeah.
They need to... they need to teach him this stuff beforehand.
Yeah.
He cannot learn by osmosis.
No. It's just trial by fire every day for this kid.
Literally, and they all are like, you're so dumb.
Yeah.
I don't think he is, actually.
No, actually, you just never told him what he's supposed to be doing.
He was given
Ever.
0 instructions.
No. I feel bad for him.
I love the random Coach Bolton.
Yeah, that's what I put. I put Coach Bolton has more lines than Ryan does.
That's so real. Wait, I didn't even think about that. Why did they have Ryan sing that?
He actually has more lines than most anyone in the actual show because we don't see a whole lot of the actual play.
That's so true.
But I don't know. It was funny to me.
That's such a good point. Why didn't they have Ryan sing that? Okay, whatever.
Yeah. I also had one before that. After like Gina and Nini's scene, they go back and Nini's like, "You've played more leading roles than I have. Like, what do I do in this situation?" But by season 4, we find out that Gina just tried out for the play to like try something new.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
And it's implied that she never did stuff like that before. But in season 1, it's very heavily implied that she has always done this sort of thing. And she's really good at it.
She's really good.
So...
Well... She's an excellent liar if the season 4 narrative is true.
I mean, I could see her lying about it too, but
if she is, then she is right. This is the greatest role she's ever played.
Yeah.
This is pretty freaking amazing.
I mean, she's actually really good at improv.
Yeah, actually, she's great at it.
I don't know.
Low-key, best actors in the cast. Yeah. Not like the actual cast, but not that she isn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at her go. That scene was really weird.
Yeah.
But I like that their friendship has grown.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah. I agree. I also think that if I was this, like, drama school dean watching this, I would think that Ashlyn is the best performer.
No, she is by far the best star. And we didn't ever have to hold up the show for her.
She's always in character. She never, like, randomly pauses for no reason. She never waits in the wings to do nothing. Or changes or anything.
She literally just plays her character. And that's, frankly, puts her leagues above everyone else. Yeah. But she's great.
Yeah. And she has her own original song and everything.
Wait.
I'd be like, I don't care about this other girl, but... Ashlyn.
No, that's so true. Ashlyn is by far the best one in that show.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that she straight up just stays in character.
Yeah.
She just does the play.
Yeah. I don't know.
When you do the thing and you do it right, it works.
Exactly.
Also, like, when the Coach Bolton shows up, and Ms. Darvison have that whole interaction, and then he's like, "You should have stayed in New York," and then that's the transition to Wondering.
Yeah. I was thinking about that too. because earlier in the season we talked about how maybe she was supposed to be Kelsey and like that song was supposed to be Kelsey's, and I still believe that.
Yeah.
Because it does not really fit so much in the... I don't know, maybe she's really offended by that statement.
Is that line actually in the High School Musical movies? I can't think if it is or not.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't have those movies memorized enough to know.
I don't either.
But I was just like, that's the transition. To be fair, that is such a high school play transition.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's the transition to Wondering?
Yeah.
This heartfelt song, this dirty little kid just said, if you wanted Broadway, you should have stayed in New York. Like, what? That's crazy. Also, okay, during Wondering, we see a clip of Miss Jen mouthing the words along with it. Mm-hmm. And that made me kind of see Wondering in a different light. Obviously the point of Wondering is low-key to sell Olivia Rodrigo's story.
Yeah.
But is it also supposed to reflect on how Miss Jen feels? I hadn't thought of it that way. Yeah.
I think so. And I think we learn that like later on in the seasons when stuff happens. And I feel like it makes that connection more.
Yeah.
So maybe she like sees herself as Miss Starbus, and so that's why
she's like, she needs a power ballad.
Yeah.
That's so vague. But yeah, probably.
Yeah.
When you make your students write a power ballad so that you can feel seen and heard.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, Miss Jen. Yeah.
My next comment is about Ricky's mom, so if you have anything before that.
Nope. My next comment is sick burn Ricky, and I don't know which part. Oh, it was when she was like, you made a commitment. He's like,
oh,
yeah,
yes!
You know about commitment.
Literally, I was like, you got her there, Ricky.
Also, like, who was this lady to come in and be like, you need to get back in there and
literally.
I don't know.
And be like, well, I thought you would care about me.
Yeah.
Because me and your dad, because we both are happy that we have Todd in our... No, we are not. Who is we?
Mm-mm. Yeah, and she's also like, I think he would be happy that I'm happy. You think? You don't know. And also, you're still married.
So literally. Also, you walked... I don't freaking care if you're happy, honestly.
Mm-mm.
Ricky's dad probably is happy that she's happy because he's a good guy. However, I don't. I hope you're not happy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ricky is so valid, always. And she tries to talk about it. I'm like, you're never right.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like, that's kind of a slay for Ricky. Just like standing up to her. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, if she doesn't want to be his mom, don't act like his mom.
No, literally. She obviously is only kind of interested in being his mom.
Yeah.
She moved across the country.
Yeah.
She can, like...
Yeah, and she doesn't call him.
Mm-mm. No, that's so true.
And it's like, maybe it's because she wants to give him space and, like, let him process things. But, like...
Maybe.
You let him call you and then have your boyfriend answer after you've told him all about Ricky, so it's like...
Yeah.
There's not a lot of effort being made on that end.
No, there's no effort. She's horrible. She abandoned her child.
Yeah. And I feel like the only reason she wanted to come to the show was because she wanted to bring Todd and introduce them.
Yes. Yeah.
Or bring Todd and make Ricky's dad feel bad.
Yeah.
Or both. So,
yeah.
I don't think she's there for the right reasons.
No, literally. I don't at all. But I have to say, I love Ricky walking away saying, I gotta go support Seb and stuff.
Yes. I know, I was like, hold on, what? Support Seb?
Well, I then had to go back because I was like, did he say Seb? And then I had the thought, have they spoken at all?
I don't. Yeah, at this point.
Or even, like, sat near each other.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I was so surprised to hear him say his name.
Yeah. I was like, hold on, do you know who Seb is? Ricky.
It's like support Seb and stuff. I didn't know you guys knew each other.
No. What?
Oops, that was on me though.
Yeah. That was interesting.
So, we talked already about the singing of Bop to the Top.
Yeah.
So I've had some reflection on his outfit. Not a lot of good reflection. I still hate it. I still think it's really bad. But he was wearing the Bowie shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, are they trying to do it as if Sharpay was a guy? Like, what Sharpay would dress like?
I can see that.
I still think it's bad, though.
Yeah. I think they should have just...
I don't see a world where Sharpay is wearing... I feel like you have a boy version of Sharpay. I mean, is he hair?
Yeah. Yeah. If we're not going to have any moments as Seb actually being Sharpay, why is it so important that he's Sharpay?
No, literally.
Like, if they made it a bigger deal, I think I'd be fine with it. But... And I am fine with it, but it's like... I don't know, it just feels weird.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like Sharpay, which really sucks because I feel like he could be Sharpay. Like,
yeah.
I don't feel like this is his fault at all. I really do feel like it's a costume designer thing. Because even the way he plays the character, great, perfect. The 5 times we see it, not even. The 3 times we see it, great, perfect.
Yeah.
But the costuming's not there.
I think, I think it's a production issue.
And I hate that nothing fits.
Yeah.
All the shirts are baggy, all the clothes are... I'm like,
yeah.
That doesn't give rich kid.
They're not. Yeah. I feel like Sharpay is one of, like, the most important characters in High School Musical. Like, I would even say Sharpay is more important than Chad is, so...
Oh, easily. I love Sharpay. I just am surprised that they did Sharpay like that.
Yeah.
I kind of see the vision they're going for. Especially with the bow. I was like, oh, they're kind of going for, like, a Bowie-esque. But even that, they're not exceeding at.
No.
Succeeding.
Yeah. I don't know. I wrote about the part where his family's all there, and I kept pausing it to see if I could, like, tell who is supposed to be related to him in what ways. Yeah. And there's, like, quite a bit of adults and quite a bit of kids. But not, like, young kids. The youngest is probably, like, 12 that I could tell. But they're all blonde.
Yeah. Is Seb part of a polygamous family? I think we said we weren't going to bring that up on here.
It's fine, we can. I feel like that's something that the writers would, like, write in, but they can't, like, talk about it.
Yeah. He's a farmer and he has just, like, a really big family. Like, okay, I see you.
Yeah, and I was trying to see, there was, like, men, but there... I don't know if there was more women than men. Yeah.
It did... I feel like there was a lot of guys. I didn't pause and look at it all that much, though.
Yeah. It was interesting. And they all had signs. And I was like, who brings signs to a musical?
Apparently a lot of people
That's annoying.
That's really rude.
Yeah. But that's fine. They all love Seb. I'm glad they all support him.
Yeah, good.
Which is, like, if they were writing him that way, I don't know. It's interesting. Maybe we were trying to make a juxtaposition there, but
it's definitely interesting.
I don't know. We don't know a whole lot about Seb, and we never do, so...
We never do learn enough about Seb. We learn more, but not a lot.
Yeah.
I like the Ricky and Gina moment.
Yeah.
When she walks out, I think that was really good. I think that's the first time I've actually been like, okay. Well, maybe I felt this way in the car a little bit. But I was like, okay, I can see the relationship thing here.
Yeah. I think so, too. And then I was trying to decide if they were trying to make it romantic or more of just, like, a friendship thing.
I do think it's still more a friendship thing at this point.
I think so, too. Because also, like... In that next scene, you have Ricky and Nene, and then you have EJ talking to Gina, and there's kind of, like, a moment between them that's implied. So I think they're trying to be like, here's what we're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree.
I also, that scene where EJ, like, leaves, and Nene goes to Ricky and, like, gets him to sing with her. But she, like, turns her phone flashlight on, which is, like, mirroring the audition.
I didn't notice that until this episode.
Me neither.
I was like, wait!
But also, it annoyed me so much because she turns her phone flashlight on and her phone's facing this way. The back of her phone's facing this way.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to, like, over her shoulder, and the back of her phone's facing this way, and there's very clearly no phone in the case. And I was like, that's terrible. Who did not notice that? It was really bad.
So clear.
But other than that, I liked the parallel there.
That's so real. I was like, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
I have to say, I did giggle when EJ said to her before she went out when he was like, look at me, Gabby. I was like, have we ever heard that nickname for Gabriella?
No. It also reminded me because when I was born, I was either going to be Haley or Gabriella. And they were like, my parents were like, your nickname could have been Gabby, and I hate that. So I'm glad they didn't name me Gabriella. And every time I hear Gabby, I want to die. If your name is Gabby,
So sorry.
I'm not mad at your name. I just don't want that to be my name. That's so weird. Like, do they even call her Gabby in the movie ever? No. I don't think so.
She doesn't look like a Gabby.
No.
I don't think they call her out in the movie. I was like,
No.
EJ, follow your script.
Yeah.
You're already an understudy.
He's an overachiever.
Just please keep your act together.
But I guess he had character development.
I guess no, he was definitely good.
Yeah.
I love EJ. And I love the EJ and Gina moment. We talked about this, but I do think it's really cute. And I think that is the final nail in the coffin of, like, EJ's redemption arc.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He's a better person.
I think so, too.
And he didn't even feel the need to tell everyone that he did that.
No. That's what, like, is really important is, like, he did it because he wanted to do it and he knew it would help the other people.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't do it to help himself, I guess.
Yeah. I literally wrote, I was like, oh, he's smiling big at her, and I know.
Oh.
They're so cute.
They are so
oh
cute.
my gosh.
And I also put that he remembered the words this.
We saw him in Salt Lake City, okay? And he goes, guess what? We're singing Breaking Free. Yay! This is the first time we saw him.
Yeah.
I think the first time he ever toured to Salt Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you he gets up there to sing Breaking Free, maybe 20% of the words.
Yeah.
I was like...
It was disappointing.
And then someone passed out. And I was like, girl, we paid!
Yeah.
And then we were in the car to see him the second time, and we're like, I wonder what our surprise song is, and we all look at each other and we go, it better not be Breaking Free.
Mm-mm.
Because he's not going to know the words.
He won't.
It wasn't Breaking Free, which is really good.
I liked our song that time. It was fine. It would have been fine if he remembered the words. But he didn't, and that made me think about maybe how many times Joshua Bassett couldn't remember his lines in the show. Because I feel like that might have happened sometimes. No, I've seen him enough times. Twice.
2 whole times.
And I'm pretty sure he's forgotten things.
Yeah.
Especially that first concert was kind of a mess.
It was kind of a mess.
It was good.
I've also watched him, like, physically, like, fall dramatically, like, 3 times on stage.
Yeah.
That
might be the most chaotic.
He's one of my favorite people to see in concerts. He's so great.
He's my favorite.
I'm like, love.
Yeah.
But no, he put on a show there and he knew all the words.
Yeah.
Good job for him.
Good job.
Gold star.
Yeah.
I will say the marching band goes hard at the end.
Yeah.
However, fun fact, this could have been my Utah section, but I decided not to put it.
Oh, yeah.
East High does not have a competitive marching band.
Yep, that's what I put too. Because I was like, is this their actual band at East High? Because I think it probably could be. They're not actually playing the instruments, though.
Yeah.
And it's very clear that they're not. But they have a band that is playing, because we see them during Breaking Free.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's just like, for show, the marching band is there. But they don't need to play anyway. But I think the drummers are probably playing.
Probably. It's pretty easy. It's also easier to fake drums, I feel like.
That's true.
But yeah. Utah does not have an actual competitive marching band.
Mm-mm.
Competitive marching band goes hard in Utah. Not as hard as it does in other places, but...
No, I feel like it's a big deal here, but maybe that's just because I was involved in it.
I wasn't, but my siblings all were, so I've been to my fair share.
Yeah.
Okay, Courtney does dance in the finale. And she's really good, and they put the camera on her a lot, too.
Yeah. Interesting.
You want to know who they don't put the camera on?
EJ.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I kept looking for him.
No, I felt bad because I was watching him, and then I saw him make a mistake, and then they immediately cut the camera. It's when they were in, like, they're in, like, the three... I have a video on my phone. They're in 3 lines, and they, like, go like this, and then they jump, and he jumps late, and then they immediately cut the screen so that you can only see Courtney and Gina, and he's, like, on the other side of them. So God. I know they cut him out.
Yeah, they're like...
So I know he made a mistake afterwards, and I feel bad for pointing it out, because, like, it was really just, like, slow.
Yeah.
But then the fact that they immediately cut tells me that he then made a mistake.
Yeah. I feel like after that, I only got, like, top shot. Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I think that confirms our thing.
And I feel so bad for noticing that, but...
And then put on his resume that he had, like, how many years of dance experience?
I think he just said that it was just in those previous
Maybe,
shows, which is valid.
You
I was like,
very good. It's okay.
It's okay. I still love him.
I love Matt Cornett. I love EJ.
I just giggled. I was like, oh, they cut that and he was already slow. He definitely made a mistake there. I'll show you the video. I feel bad.
I guess it makes sense why Carlos wasn't in the finale, but I feel like if Courtney was, then he should have been.
Yeah, well, then I was thinking, was Courtney always in the finale? Or did they space her in really quickly? I was also thinking
But then
about
also
that.
Carlos was Chad.
You're right.
Scene.
That's so true. Why the frick was Carlos not in there?
I don't know, because he had to come on stage with Miss Jen at the end.
He's super cool, Sue. I love it. I like that suit.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Big Red the Third.
Mm-hmm. I just put Big Red's parents.
That's so real. Do we ever see his dad again?
Crazy. I don't think we do.
I don't think we do either.
I think we see his mom at least one other time, maybe 2, 3. I don't know.
Yeah. Ashlyn assuming that the flowers were for EJ. Were from EJ. Crazy.
Yeah. That always is awkward.
I'm like, have you guys ever had a cousin before? Crazy. That's so weird.
Yeah.
And her saying that aloud to everyone, crazy.
Yeah. That's strange.
Half my notes just say blah blah blah, crazy.
That's funny.
Because immediately my next note is the Denny's line goes crazy.
Yep.
I was never a theater kid. Never went to Denny's afterwards.
I didn't ever go anywhere after.
Dang.
I don't think. I had a cast party at my house one time. Did you come to that? Because I invited, like, a lot of people.
What was that?
It was in 6th grade.
I don't think I did.
I know, like, I think I invited our whole 6th grade class.
Maybe I did then.
Because I couldn't, like, pick and choose people. Because my mom made me invite certain people who were in the stage crew that I didn't want to invite.
I don't think I was.
I don't think you were either. Because I know other people that were there, and it was awkward, but it was fine. It was fun. We watched WALL-E.
Yeah, I definitely was. Yeah, I definitely.
It was so fun, and we like put on our whole show in the backyard.
Oh, cute. Love.
It was
that
very,
was
very theater kids.
Haley was in James and the Giant Peach, and she played. I like these big James, so you're going to say what the real character's name is.
It's called The Lotta Lord. I don't know where that comes from or what it is. He's the narrator of the show. And is implied that it's James when he's grown up. That show is a mess. But it was fun. It was a good time.
We'll cast that one.
It was like my favorite musical that I was in.
That was good.
Yeah.
I just put peak I love you scene.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Cute.
Oh my god.
So much.
Oh.
I also put, like, for that scene, did they only do one show? Like, one night of the show? Because he's talking about, like, he's like, what do we need now? Because I've never opened a show or closed a show.
I have no clue.
And I feel like,
forget.
Also in the other seasons, I don't know. They're like, it's opening night, but if it's opening night and closing night.
You guys just doing it once?
I don't know, that's just...
Well, Todd did fly all the way out, so...
Yeah. I was surprised, like, the gym was full.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but I feel like people show up for things like that.
Mm-hmm. I do feel like in the second season they say that they did more, but I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
But
I will say there's a lot of kissing in this episode.
there is.
And that is not Disney. Like, I was like, you can tell this is not a Disney Channel show. There's a lot of kissing.
There is. Yeah.
Like, they kiss a lot more than I thought they did.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay.
Also, I was thinking about, they have, like, their stage kiss, but they never do it. But that was, like, such a big deal when they were blocking it.
Yeah, we never even noticed
And then I was like, maybe it's, like, not in this scene, but they're, like, in the last scene or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe there's a scene in between, but...
Yeah.
I don't know, we never see them do a stage kiss.
No.
Because I guess that would be, like, anticlimactic to the actual kiss.
I guess, yeah. That's valid.
Which that, like, even their kiss was pretty, not PG-13, but it was...
But it was definitely, like, a kiss.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, you would never see that on Disney Channel.
Mm-mm.
And, like, how close the camera was and how often they did, I was like, this is not a Disney Channel show.
Yeah. It was really cute.
It was really cute. And then even, like, Ashlyn and Big Red kiss, too.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I see you.
Yeah. Cute.
I have to tell my brother to meet me in the library.
Do you have any more comments about that scene, Tina?
No, not really, no.
Okay. I just put, Courtney comes in, and she's like, Nene, your moms are here, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she says mom's plural, but we never see.
Yeah, we never see the other
Carol.
mom.
Carol?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know why neither of her moms are. It's not like either one of them are like big time actresses.
No. Like, why can't we be in a scene together?
Yeah, they are like never in a scene together after this. I think maybe season 3.
Yeah. I think they are in season 3 just for that one scene.
Just one scene. I'm like, your guys' schedules cannot conflict that much.
No. You're in like 2, I don't know.
Is it really so out of the budget for her to have like 3 adult figures there for her?
I don't know.
Apparently.
Do we even see her grandma after this season, though?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think we do either. So,
Like,
no.
Yeah.
But her grandma's at the show, and her mom, one of her moms is at the show.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently her other one is too, but we don't know that.
We just don't ever see her. I'm like, okay. It's like a weird thing because there's like stuff like that was like her having 2 moms and then Seb being Sharpay were like really big deals at the time. But then I feel like they don't actually come up that much in the show, which is very Disney, honestly. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, Big Red's tap dancing slays. He's so good. Holy cow.
Yeah. It's really good. And then I was like, I'm sure he's actually tapping. But some of the camera angles make it look like they, like, had a stunt person do it.
That's so real.
Because it'll be, like, only his legs or, like, only the top half.
You're like, It makes me wonder, I've been, like, hearing things about Dance Moms, and I know that, like, they didn't do a lot of tap group dances or even tap solos because the taps are hard to pick up by the camera. So they have to, like, put the taps in digitally, and I wonder if that was also a thing
that
here.
would make sense. I'm scared for him doing it on the gym floor with all the confetti around.
No, I was also freaked out. When he did that turn, I was like, oh, scared.
I'm, like, scarred. My cousin broke her arm doing tap, like, a long time ago. A long, long time ago. And I was like, I will never put on tap shoes ever. But, yeah, so I was scared for him. I'm scared every time I see someone tap.
Every time people tapping. Really fear of tappers.
Yeah, that's my irrational fear. I also put, where did Todd go?
Hopefully away, honestly.
Yeah. If I was...
He didn't even stay to meet Ricky. That's crazy. No, that's
He
crazy.
came in late, and he left.
Rude.
And that's the whole point, like... I'm sure that's the whole point he was there, was to meet Ricky. And then he just wasn't there.
And then he just left. Oh
They're
my
like,
gosh.
We don't need them to actually meet. Because Ricky's happy right now. And we see Lynn and Michael. But, I don't know.
No, literally.
He's just gone.
It's not there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, those are all my notes. Do you have anything?
Mine too, that's all.
Okay, the show that we're casting today is Les Mis.
Yay.
Because Haley just saw it this weekend.
Yes, I saw it at the Eccles in Salt Lake.
So
It was really good. And probably when this, I don't know how long it's going, but it might be over by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
So.
It'll be a while when this comes out, so. But yeah, I am not very familiar with Les Mis, as you can probably tell by the way I'm saying it, I'm sure. But Haley is a very big fan.
I love it. I've seen it a lot.
So.
And when we were waiting for it to start, my parents and I were already casting this show with these characters because my parents love this show as much as I do because of this podcast.
See, and so it's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to remember my dad's going to be really mad if I cast somebody wrong.
I'm like trying to find like a cast listing that's not like the movie cast because I want to look. Okay. Do you want to read them out actually?
Yeah.
Do
so the most important characters are going to be these are in a weird order on here.
Rip.
Jean Valjean,
Okay.
Javert. They also all have very similar names.
Yeah.
Cosette, Eponine, Fantine, Marius, Enjolras, and then the Thénardiers. So there's two of them.
Okay.
And then I would say Gavroche, who is a little kid.
Okay, T.
And so that's like 10.
Okay, sick. People. So what were your dad's thoughts that you can remember off the top of your head?
Let me think if I can remember. I feel like he was very adamant that Gina was Eponine, and I also agree.
Okay,
she's
T.
a very like independent woman and is the alto. So
Okay, per.
I think that's a good choice.
We've got Gina.
And then I can't remember. I'm pretty sure we said Fantine was Ashlyn. And Fantine is like, she's Cosette's mom, and she's in like the first part. And I think she fits Ashlyn's like singing style very well. She has a really strong ballad.
Okay, per.
I think she'd be good at.
We love Ashlyn.
Yeah. And then Cosette, I think we said would be Nini, which I don't know totally that fits, but she has really high notes, which I feel like Nini can do.
Yeah.
We see her do it, and it's more like it's in a different space, but I think she could do it.
Mhm. I agree.
What else did we do? The guys are kind of hard because you have Jean Valjean, Javert, who are like really talented singers, but they have very mature voices. Like they're very bass heavy.
Yeah.
And we don't have any basses.
Literally zero.
At all.
So that's really cool.
So I think that's why my dad cast Mr. Mazzara as Javert, who's like the antagonist.
T. I'll allow it.
He's like very like by the books. So I feel like it fits.
Sure, perfect. Let him be in the show.
Yeah.
Maybe he can stick around for a little bit longer then.
Maybe. Jean Valjean, I don't know. There's really no person who's like good enough to be Jean Valjean. So I've got to think about that for a second. I think we put Marius as... I would put Marius as Ricky.
Okay.
And Marius and Cosette are the love interests. And Marius is kind of like a goofy, like, lovesick puppy. And so I feel like he fits Ricky very well.
Okay.
But also, if Ricky was going to get the main lead, he would be Jean Valjean.
I say we don't give him... I feel like if EJ worked hard enough and was old enough, he could do a very deep, intense singing role.
I feel like sometimes he talks about... I feel like there's sometimes he talks about being Jean Valjean.
I say we should give that to him.
he can do it.
We'll give it to him.
There's not dancing involved. So I think he can do
we
it.
just typecast him as like just a horrible, and that would make sense because he said he was a lead in Les Mis. I think is what it was. So yeah, we'll give him.
I think he can be Jean Valjean. And then for the Thénardiers, they're kind of just like the comedic interest of this show, and they're a couple. And I think I would put Courtney as Madame Thénardier. Thénardier. Who are our guys? We have
Big Red and Carlos and Seb left, but
Okay.
I kind of a feeling what you're gonna do with Seb.
Yeah. I think I would put Big Red as
Okay, too.
Thénardier. I think he'd be good at that. It's kind of like funny, which is more his season 2 role, but
that's his vibe. He's got it.
Yeah, I think that's good. And then we've got Gavroche, the little kid, and then Enjolras, who's like the leader of the revolution. And I think that's all the main people. I think Carlos could be Enjolras. I really do. I think he'd be good at that.
He can lead, so yeah. Put him in a role.
Yeah. He's good.
Carlos.
And then I would put Seb as Gavroche, which immediately when
I just the first one that came to my mind.
We put it like that. So
Seb is Yeah,
I think that's all.
KT.
There's a very high chance that I miss someone really important, but I think that's like
a lot of French
really
people.
it. And then everyone else is just ensemble.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So slay. So that's our show for Les Mis.
Yay.
Hope you guys all enjoyed, and
I'm not gonna go back there.
Yeah, we're not gonna go back there.
There's too many people.
I hope you guys got it the first time.
Yeah.
Okay, T. Well, thanks for watching today's episode. We really appreciate you watching. Make sure to listen to us on Spotify and YouTube, and also check out our TikTok page. It's so super cool. Mm-hmm. And yeah, next week we're going to be doing an overview of season 1. So if you have any like opinions, hot takes that you want to share or you want us to address, like feel free to put those in the comments. Message us. Like honestly, anything. We'd love to hear them, and we'll share.
We'll answer it.
Yeah, we'll answer if you have a question or whatever. Yeah. So sick. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.